dun 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 dun.
I can just see myself flying the X-wing, you know. We gotta save these fools again. All right.
It's a trap. Pew pew pew. Code red leader. Code red leader. Code red leader. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Ed Local. I am your host, Mr. Eddie Gonzalez, and today we have a awesome show for you guys. I have here Mr. Paco Estrada, aka Mr. Don't you have some AKAs?
I got many AKAs for sure.
What is an AKA that fits today's theme?
Well, Paco for sure. It's my apodo. My real name is Francisco Estrada. But I guess, I don't know, it's got to be something nerdish, you know? Right now I've been feeling X-Men-y.
Okay.
X-Men, I've been feeling it. I've always loved X-Men. I'm glad it's back. So, I don't know, maybe, I love Magneto, bro. I love Magneto, so maybe we'll create something right here, right now, you know? Or you know what? Never mind. You know what? As much as I do love X-Men, you know, the running gag that I have every year is that I'm some sort of version of Rick from Rick and Morty.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could do, I'm like this version's, I don't know, like a Rick Paco or something,
Paco,
you know?
Paco Rick.
Yeah.
This is Paco Rick.
You know? So
Francisco Estrada, a.k.a.
Yeah.
Paco, a.k.a. Paco Rick, is joining us today. And Mr. Paco Rick, you are, this is special because we're talking about Nerdville. And we had this conversation that today's episode is going to be all for Nerdville. Nerdville's coming up. And I got a flyer right here that I want to show you guys. Nerdville, a.k.a. It's like a mini Comic-Con, and it's hosted here in Watsonville. And this is, what, the fourth year?
This is year 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we're at the Rocky versus Ivan Drago phase of everything, you know? And so things are getting tough, and we're climbing up that mountain right now, you know? We're really, you know, we're mad. We did that little drive during, you know, so Stallone in the Porsche thinking about his homie, you know? And year 4 has been kind of a sort of a reflective year, but it's been a great year. It's been a great experience.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that, but tell everyone what Nerdville is.
Oh, yeah, great question. So first off, you know, Nerdville is like the manifestation of the same idea that probably every nerd in Watsonville's ever had. Like, why don't we just do this, you know? And it that's what it came out of, you know. Like you talk to anybody in Watsonville, and there's a lot of people that love a ton of like comic books, anime, video games,
animation,
you know, stuffed animals, collectibles. Like there's a lot to like really it's a lot to wrap your head around, and delve into everything. It's great. It's awesome. Like that's, you know, it's sort of like this culture. It's the things that we love, right? It's the things that we love to do, the things that bring joy to our life, happiness. And this group of people have just sort of figured out a way to make something happen in our very small community that is, you've talked about it in your past shows, you know, like we come from, Watsonville's like a, maybe the term is like one that has an underfunded community, right?
Almost definitely.
Yeah, it's an underfunded community.
Underrated, overlooked.
It has many needs, and one of the things is something for young people to do. You know, something to hook them, something to give them, like something, as they say, you know, everybody always says something positive for them to do. And so, and then the other thing too was that, you know, I think when I was thinking about all of this too, you know, cons were like they're like really mainstream now.
Oh, very mainstream.
Know?
I mean,
think about it, right? Comic-Con,
Fanime.
Yeah, Disney has one, right? D23
X3
or whatever it is.
Anything that you could put into con, like add con to it, like they make it's a big old event. And it's like every category.
Huge. They, you know, they're great. They're fun. They're like 4-day events and
food con.
It's they're
Everything.
they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. And so, but they're getting pricey, and they're getting they're not accessible to people anymore. For one reason and for another. Money.
Yeah.
Transportation. They don't know about it.
Yeah.
Language.
There's a big language barrier. Yes. And what's crazy too is that I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con. Like it's been a goal of mine, a bucket list item. But for the past, I want to say 20 years, ever since Marvel kind of came into the picture in the cinematic universe, everything sells out within minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I think I read an article maybe like 6-7 years back that like the minute they opened up the purchasing, it was like not even 60 seconds, like everything got sold out. It's like, dude, how does that even happen?
Yeah. Imagine just like the average kid right today in Watsonville, like wanting to go to Comic-Con. Like it's hard. It seems impossible.
Yeah.
And
you almost have to just win it out of luck. Like, go.
It's just, it's a long-term thing. And the great thing too about cons though is that if like you look into their history, they started out as community sort of events, right? And I think I wanted to do that. I wanted to come back to that. I think at some points in your life, nostalgia hits, and I like that kind of nostalgia. Like bringing something, making it accessible to everyone in your community, getting together to enjoy the things that like we all love. That we all just everybody dresses up and they go ham, and they go crazy over And it's great. And then the other element is that I think a lot of us who will work on this have seen that, we didn't have this growing up. Yeah. We wish we had this sort of thing maybe growing up.
So we're creating something and we're making it our own.
Totally.
And the feeling that we get, like, and just for everyone knows, like, Paco is the founder. He's the
one of the founders.
One of the founders.
I don't want to take credit.
He's one of the founders. He is the lead.
The lead, yeah.
That oversees Nerdville and everything. And I myself am the MC of the event.
Another founder.
And so when I love it because like he says, it's our own, like it's our baby. We take care of it, we're nourishing it, and it's like, dude, it's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
And when you get the feedback, like the other day I was at a pop-up at Bradley Elementary School, the one that I posted on Instagram. I was just shopping around, and someone's like, "Hey, you're that Nerdville guy. Like you're the one that's there." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And we just had a big old conversation, and you can see just like that the people just their face, they're light, they were it lit them up.
Yeah.
And such a positive interaction that's just like, dude, that's our own. That's us. That's we cherishing that and we're nourishing that.
Last year, we had some big guest actors. We had Abby Trott, right?
Abby Trott, yeah.
And when we opened the doors, a little girl ran to kind of look for her line, and she was the first one there. She had her action figure. She sat down, she was like, "I'm ready to wait for this person."
Yeah.
And she was so excited, and that's when it really hit me, like, oh wow, this little girl, I can only imagine she must have been like 7 or 8, like already like in line, excited to meet her hero. Like I was like, we did that. Yeah. We brought this person, and we made a like little magical moment for this person, and I don't know if that maybe will play any sort of role in her future, but I hope she feels like for a day in their community, she felt supported and loved and appreciatated and stuff.
And that's great to see,
Yeah.
Who's Abby Trott? Like, for those who don't know.
Abby Trott, why are you putting me on? I'm a nerd, but no, she was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's with the
Demon Slayer. She's
Slayer,
a Demon Slayer voice actress.
Yes. And I'm Abby. I'm so. But I'm not. I love anime. I'm not an anime nerd, but that's the great thing about Nerdville, right? Is that like we celebrate all nerds, right?
Yeah,
all nerds, all welcome. Like if you don't know if I don't know anything about anime, I can't tell you how welcoming the anime fans have been to me. Like they're all, dude, read this, check out this on Netflix, do this, and that's the other thing about nerd culture is that like we're so like we're kind people at the heart of at the root of everything. I think we're kind, empathetic people that like, we like to connect with people. We like to have a fun time. We like to laugh a little bit, laugh at ourselves. And it's great. And through Nerdville, dude, we have such an amazing team. You were talking about founders, for sure. The nonprofit Friends of Watsonville Parks and Community Services has to be, we have to give them a lot of recognition and props for taking on this project. It's
so what is the Friends nonprofit?
Yeah, that's a great question. I sat on the board, and so our mission is to really support parks and rec services and programs here in the community. That's the thing that really is at the heart of who I am as a public figure, and it's the thing that launched me into office, right? Which then led me to serve on city council for 4 years, and
which will be an episode later on in the future. Yes,
the corruption.
We'll get into that
corruption, but thanks to I was privileged enough to do all of that, and so I was able to figure out, we can do a con here. We just have to do this and this and this, and so it was also about bringing people together, because Nerdville is about the community. It's gonna be about Watsonville, and more every year. I think people can expect to not only see like a lot of cool pop culture stuff, but like things that are also focused on our community, how amazing our community is, our artists. But as you are sort of seeing yourself with your podcast, right? Sometimes it's like trial and error. You gotta do things here and there. And
it's a lot of learning and growth.
It's a lot of work,
and sometimes these, things, and through the process of planning this, it's like sometimes it gets too big too quick, and so you have to adapt. And I think that's what I love about the group that run this. The planning commission for Nerdville is that we adapt, and there's been a lot of curveballs, and there's been a lot of
trials,
trial and error, right? But like we're adapting and we're learning as we go. And sometimes it seems like, dude, how are we gonna pull this off?
Yeah.
And then boom, we do it, or
or we might get upset with each other and stuff, because it's hard to work with people. But the great thing is that everyone's still there, everybody's still supporting one way or another, and that's great, because we all care about Nerdville, right? Yeah. And then the other goal that we have, and this is for anybody, reach out to us. We're always looking for people with ideas that want to come in, that want to work, that want to try things. Nerdville is about the community, and so I don't have ownership of Nerdville. Like even though the Friends and myself, we sort of and the group have helped guide this. Like at some point, my vision is to let this go into the community, so that some people that love this can take it over and hopefully have it every year, because I'm not gonna be here forever, and my goal is maybe Nerdville can be here for a minute.
I mean, this is we're hoping to establish this, and I think we've done a really good job. Like you said, it's gonna be here even after we leave, right? We don't know what the future holds, but like we're trying to set the foundation. So for year 10, year 20, who knows? Like we could say we laid the foundation, and it's became something more than what we could ever imagine. And so, but
we have a lot of more great ideas. Honestly. It's like but we're a small nonprofit. We have a very small budget. We are at Watsonville High School. It's the heart. I think Watsonville High School is one of the hearts of our community, and so I'm glad that I'm honored that we hosted there. Even though I went to Aptos High. Can we edit that later, though?
Yeah, we went to Aptos. I went to the Aptos High, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Silver and blue. Matt, too. But no,
sorry, everybody. Sorry, yeah.
But like you said, like, dude, we're trying, like, yes, we went there, but our heart is here in Watsonville.
Yeah, PB didn't exist back then, and then my mom, this is part of what you keep talking about. There's a lot of misconceptions about Watsonville, honestly, a ton of misconceptions. So I'll tell you one real quick. Like people always say Santa Cruz is progressive. Nah, Watsonville's progressive, bro. Like we're more progressive. We just, like I said, we always get we tend to get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
crumbs. We get the crumbs.
But we have a lot of talent, a lot of great people in Watsonville, And this is what Nerdville highlights: is all these amazing people with these amazing skills. Everybody right now that's doing it for free. You know, like we're not getting paid for any of this.
This is all our own personal time.
I have a family. Eddie has a job. We got other stuff to do. You know, and we spend a ton of time together trying to get this on for the community. Because
but it's all love. It's all love. Like,
we love it.
I mean, the love we have for everything nerd-y, you know, is just like, it's hard. We could say words to describe it, but you can't really describe it. It's a feeling.
Hard,
it's hard.
It is a feeling.
Yeah. And so nostalgic, like I think that word's been coming up so much, and it's like it gives you those memories of just growing up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I remember growing up, like, dude, running around, you know, in my underwear, like with the Superman shirt, you know, Batman shirt, Ninja Turtles.
How old
like,
are you, bro? If you don't mind me asking. Because I'm 41. I'm 41. So
you don't look 41.
Thank you. No, I always appreciate it.
You look at least like 32, 33.
I'm 41. I'm from the 80s, bro. So I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s. 90s were wild.
Oh, yeah.
But what year were you born?
I was born in 90, so I'm 34.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of you have a pretty good memory of maybe the latter half of the 90s.
No, like the mid. I remember the mid. Like the mid, like mid at 4 or 5 years old, I still remember a lot, you know.
Well, at that time, and I don't know if you remember, but Watsonville used to have comic book shops. And
yes.
We had Kiki Sports Shop, and shout out to that whole family, bro, that had that store. They were so kind.
Where was that at?
It was over where, you know, where Fat Boy Burgers at, and if you cross the street, you know, in that corner, Taqueria Mi Tierra, delicious food, by the way, is that, and then that little business.
Yes, a little strip. Yes,
it's at the very end. It's like it was like the last business before the laundry.
Yeah,
the laundry place, and that's where me and my homies, David, Raf, my brother, Gache, we used to go down there. Buy cards, buy comic books. They were everything was always $1.35 because it was $1.25 for the comic, 10 cents for the tax.
Nice.
So it was always $1.35. So sometimes I wouldn't have lunch, but you know I got the new Jim Lee X-Men.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's great that you remember that, because for me, I think towards when I started to get into it, like late 90s, I had to travel. To Hollister for a comic book, and that comic book is still there. I forgot the name of it, but my dad would take me over there, and we'd buy comics. We'd get, like, you know, the mystery pack. It's like $20-$30, and you get like
a bunch of comics
and stuff like that, you know. And so, like, that's great. That's great, because like I don't even remember that.
Yeah, after they closed, because it was Kiki's, it was the End Zone, and it was Sports City over by where Taqueria. Santa Rosa Meat Market.
Yeah.
Shout out Santa Rosa Meat Market. Delicious burritos out there. It was right there. And that guy mostly had cards, but dude, he had some amazing cards. He had like Roger Maris from the Yankees, you know, or Mickey Mantle cards and Joe DiMaggio cards. So he had some legit like baseball cards, because my brother really loved baseball cards.
Yeah.
Everybody else had the comics. But you're right. Once they all left, our only option was to go out, like usually like you do in Watsonville, right? To go find something. But
and there's some stores. I think there's a store that just recently opened up. I forgot the name of it, but it's there.
Oh, here in town.
Yeah.
They're like coming back, and I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, because it used to be the Gamers Den.
Yeah.
Then they closed down, and then someone else took over that little spot. It's like they're in the Kaiser Permanente Knob Hill in front, across the street. Yeah, shopping center. And so, do you think comic book shops can make a comeback?
It all depends. You know, here in Watsonville, I do think it is possible. I've mentioned it to people. There are opportunities, but you know, it's a risk. It's always a risk, because you know these things, like the market is down. Honestly, right now, like the market is down. Like you can buy some good stuff, some good collectibles at a great price. Sorry, that's my stomach.
Oh, you're good.
But you could buy some good stuff at a very affordable price right now. And so if you're like selling, it might not be a good time right now. But you know, these things then tend to change, right? Then Marvel comes up with some movie.
Like it goes up, like, you know.
They bust out something amazing that everybody wants, and then, you know, boom, the price does go up for stuff. But price is, you know, overall, compared to like a couple of years ago, like prices are up anyway.
Yeah,
you know, but the market is down, so it's tough. But is it possible? I do think it is, but like in anything you do, it all depends on the effort and level of dedication that you put to something.
Yeah.
So, but it is possible. I do think it is possible for us to have a nerdy business again. You know. Anybody out there want to know a secret? Hit me up.
I want to take it back to the first Nerdville.
Oh yeah,
event.
Nerdville 1.
Nerdville number 1. It happened 2021.
Yeah.
What was that process like? Right, like what made you get up?
Oh my goodness.
One day and say like, "Hey, I want to start a Nerdville." Like, what happened? Like, what were you doing? I mean, you said that you've always had that dream, that idea,
right?
But what brought it to reality? Like, what was that moment that's like, dude, it's happening?
Right. It was year 3 of my reign of terror, and in year 3 we were in the recovery phase of COVID. So we had spent 18 months, I think, more or less, sort of, following guidelines and trying to prevent the spread of COVID. So, we were all separated for a really long time. Even to this day, there are some friendships that like went away because of COVID.
Yeah.
So
COVID.
It messed up a lot of stuff. Yeah. So at that time, I spent the previous year having to deal with COVID every day, like every day. And so it sort of burns you out a little bit at some point after 18 months. But once we sort of saw that the vaccine was working, we felt like we just wanted it. I felt like we needed to do something that like bring the community back a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. And so I've always had this idea. I've gone to Comic-Con. I went to WonderCon when they used to be in San Francisco, and then the traders betrayed us and left Anaheim or whatever they went. But WonderCon was amazing. Like, it was such a special time in my life. Like, I think about it because I went with my homies. I was still in college, so you're barely got some money.
Yeah.
You're making all these missions to go out there to get these things that you love. Same with Comic-Con. Shout out to my wife, Amanda, for coming with me all those years.
Shout out to Amanda.
Things changed for her when we went to Comic-Con, and she took a picture with what's that dude from Breaking Bad, El Güerillo? Paul. Whatever.
Paul. No. Okay.
Amanda's gonna.
The main character, right?
Yeah, that dude. So she's like, she loves him. She's in love with this guy, and they were premiering. I believe it was like season 6, and they were out there. Him and Bryan Cranston were.
Bryan Cranston, yeah.
That's the dude from Malcolm in the Middle, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other one, El Güerillo, the younger dude.
Was it Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul, yeah.
Aaron Paul.
Is it? And Amanda, she always thought he was very good looking, and so we kind of, how Mexicans are, like very like timidly go up to him and like, excuse me, we're fans. Could we take a picture, please? And he like, at first, like, I felt like he didn't hear us, but then he like looked back and he's like, yeah, and then he took a picture with Amanda. So ever since then, Amanda loved Comic-Con. And then the other thing that Amanda, I shouldn't reveal, but she loves CW shows. So she got to go to all the panels too, because they were accessible at Comic-Con. But I'm a people person. I love the people watch, not like in any like creepy way, honestly, but I love how creative people are.
Yeah.
Some people are like so creative, man, and I love walking the main hall because people had their cosplays, people were selling stuff, people, they made something. And so...
And you wanted to bring all that.
I love all that, bro.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was there. Stan Lee was there. You ran into some, like, B-listers, some C-list celebrities everywhere. And they were accessible to people. And I love that because, I'm not gonna do anything to harm anybody, but I love some of these people that I see because they play characters that, like, inspired me one way or another. Because, honestly, that's the thing... like I said, when I go back there, we're kind people. Like, these stories inspire us.
Yeah.
You know, these characters, like, they help define us sometimes because
they mold and shape who we are.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You know, like, I can say that honestly, my approach to public service is like based on like sort of three characters, three things about three defining characteristics about certain characters. Like Spider-Man, number one, is that dude does the right thing every
single time.
No matter like if it's at a cost, he does it. You know, he like whatever, he does it, and because he knows he has to. That's the right thing to do.
Want to add to that, piggyback to that. You know, Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
Oh yeah.
So Spider-Man can't lift it.
Oh no way.
He's not worthy because he doesn't kill.
Oh.
He doesn't have that. You know, that itch to kill. So it's like, no, you can't lift me.
Oh wow, well, I didn't know that, but he just, you know, he wouldn't do it. Like if the situation didn't call for it, like he wouldn't. Like, he just wouldn't do the wrong thing, you know? So that's one. Two, X-Men. X-Men I love because, you know, it's based on the civil rights. I'm a history major, so I love all of that and all these sort of dynamics that these ideas that they play with. So X-Men's great. You know, Wolverine's my guy, obviously. And have a lot of love for a lot of other characters in the X-Men world. So
Paco and Wolverine, Estrada?
I don't know, bro. If I hope somebody does find me and put some sort of adamantium skin and bones in me. If you're hearing me, Canadian government,
all right,
I'm ready. And then the other character I always think is like Batman. Batman's sort of shifted for me and how I perceive him, but Batman at the end of the day sort of teaches you that you can sort of rely on yourself, rely on others, and like don't mess with Batman. You know, like that's the thing about Batman. Don't mess with Batman. Cause
is Batman the most dangerous character?
He's pretty smart, bro. I think he might be the smartest in terms of like a couple of things, but deadliest. Deadliest. Who'd be the deadliest? I don't know. There's some scary ones out there. My favorite though is out of the ones that are like out of this crazy world, like Galactus is my boy. Galactus and Magneto. Magneto's right. Magneto's right, bro.
My favorite characters in Marvel is Spider-Man. And then
which one though?
Spider-Man. Peter Parker. Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
It could be Miles. It could be
Peter Parker. I mean, growing up in the '90s, I mean, Spider-Man animated series. That was my
I
jam.
love Ben Riley, bro. Scarlet Spider-Man,
that was my
bro.
jam. Okay.
My sauce. All right, and obviously black costume.
Yeah. So I love him, and then for DC, my favorite character is Batman. Yeah. I know I'm wearing a Superman, you know, but this is my outfit for Nerdville, my cosplay outfit. I
love it.
Yeah,
I love it, and I do love Superman. And Superman's gotten a bad sort of rap because I feel like nobody's been able to tell his story right.
Yeah,
but he's a great character. Like he's sort of one of those characters that you sort of have to feel the goodness.
Yeah,
you know, because
I feel like they did Henry Cavill.
Yeah, they did him dirty, but it was a mess to begin with.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Us nerds are very harsh sometimes.
Dude, like everything. So I mean, Paco was part of our movie club for a short period of time.
But it was during COVID, so it was very hard.
Yeah,
I tried to make. I did make it to some, but yeah.
Yeah, but like whenever we get into these conversations, you know, because we're watching all the Marvel movies, we just dissect everything, and again, going back to the whole passion thing and the love for Nerdville and nerd stuff, you know, it's like we get into it. It's like a big discussion, you know, and it's like, you know, no, he didn't do this. No, he didn't do that. Yes, he did. It's like, oh, this, you know, what was the story behind it? Why did he do that? Are they going to do that? You know, is he going to do it again? Like this conversations could just go for hours, you know, of these characters and these storylines and like the what if, you know, and I think that's what you're wanting to bring, like that feeling here. And that's why, you know, this is such a popular event in our community, you know?
You know, it's also tied to the community, like I keep saying, right? Like, growing up, and you probably can relate to me, my parents, like most Latino youth here are immigrants. They came from Mexico, Zacatecas. Shout out to my raza in Santa Rosa, Zacatecas. And, you know, they they didn't see the value in these things, you know? Like, I read a lot thanks to X-Men, you know? I love reading because of these comics. Thank you to H.A. Hyde Elementary Library for carrying some Spider-Man, some Captain America, some Iron Man, because that's where really my love for all of this started, at the library there, you know? And I found something that I loved and I was passionate about, and I kept it going, you know, with my homies. And so, you know, I think in many ways it's important, you know, like I say, like kind of going back to things that, and a lot of times our parents didn't, I don't know, maybe they were just tired, you know, that's what I was thinking right now. Like, why were they not liking these things? But maybe they were tired. They had a lot going on, you know, but we love these things, and they brought a lot of value to our life. They really did. And so I'm glad that, I don't know, they still kind of make fun of me for it. It's okay, you know.
I was at work the other day, and then my coworker's like, "You're a nerd, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, well, you don't look like one. Like, well, I mean, what does a nerd look like? You know, it's like,
and yes, and this is the great thing about Nerdville too. And then shout out to all the team members. And this is what my homie Ponce has been sort of asking of us too lately, is for us to figure out, you know, what is a nerd? What is a nerd? You know, and this is always a good question to ask. But a nerd is a lot of things. You know, I'll have one definition. We can say our definitions if you want right now.
Yeah, go for it.
But you know, a nerd is, oh my God, it's just it can be. It's, oh my goodness, it's so hard to.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone has their own definition and their own way of expressing what a nerd is. It's like a spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, but in that, it's anything related to. We could all agree, like anything related to like comic books, to cartoons, to
pop cultural stuff.
You know,
it's also related to, like, you know, like
the knowledge. I guess it's having
math, science, it's dinosaurs.
It's having knowledge of a certain
glasses.
You know. And so for me, a nerd is someone who enjoys and loves comic books and movies that relate to like science fiction. I think that's
they're open to all these things. You know? They're open to all these things, and all these things, as you mentioned, Eddie, are based. Some of these stories are amazing. People, like, if you love to read, like, if you're all you readers out there that are in book clubs and stuff that have never read Watchmen, or I've never read Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, you know, like, they teach you through like Batman, these like, you know, absurd characters. They teach you so much about life, a lot about life, and
I think that's what the great thing about it. Like you said, like, you know, you learn how to read through comic books, and then, you know, let's say, you know, you were dealing with a situation in your childhood that you didn't know how to deal with.
Exactly.
And you're learning to read, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, dude, this is happening to this character that's happening to me. You know, you're relating so much. It's like, that's how they dealt with it. It's like, okay, I'm going to apply that to my life. And it's like, dude, okay, like, that's great.
And you know what? The other thing, too, is that nerds are not bullies. Yeah. You know, we're not bullies. And
we're very accepting.
Yeah. You know, people used to make, like I said, used to make fun of some of these things that I loved. I don't care. I know Superman wears his underwear outside, but he's teaching me about, like, morality. He's teaching me what to do, what the right thing here, you know, or he's asking me to think about something.
And you know what's funny
I hadn't thought about.
Growing up, you know, all those people that used to pick on us for being nerds, like, now they're all into it too. It's like, wait a second, didn't you give me a wedgie because you thought I was weird? Now you're wearing your underwear outside at this comic book event. You know, like, it's so cool. It's funny.
The only person that's been a consistent bully in my life is my homie Raph. Raph, shout out to you for never giving in to the nerds. But you're right. I think in one way or another, we've all become nerds. And there are a lot of, like I said, different nerds. Like, now you're wearing sneakers. Like, people love these Jordans, you know, and there are Jordan nerds, you know, and there are, like you mentioned.
Shout out to Gino.
Gino's my, you know, he's a cool nerd, right? Like you said, like, Gino's he works for the city. Watsonville. He's a great friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Gino. He's just always coming in with this like amazing, and that's a great thing that we work with all these amazing people, man,
well,
in our community.
Who are the people, the behind the scenes of Nerdville? Let's start, right. So we have you, the one of the founders, the head lead that oversees Nerdville.
So the board is pretty active.
The board. So who is the board of Friends of Watsonville?
We have Mr. Darryl Wise, who is our wise president. Alfonso Lobato, he teaches at Cabrillo College. We have Ana Hurtado, and I believe Ana works with like the consulate, or she does like the Department of Labor or something. So she does like some pretty heavy duty work, you know. We also have Maria Orozco. She's our mayor pro temp, currently on the Watsonville City Council. We have my homie Tony Camargo. He works at Bay Fed. Shout out to our sponsors. One of our sponsors, Bay Fed.
Thank you, Bay Federal.
Thank you very much for supporting us. He's another huge building block in all of this. So we have the board. And the board has been very supportive, very open to all these things, and they've let us work, which is great. So it starts with the board, who's very supportive, a lot of high-level people working with us, and then we have the team. Yeah. Right? And then the team, there's, as we mentioned, you and I on the team. We also have Gino. He's our amazing facilities person, logistics person. We have Panchito Marmolejo. I think he's like an architect. He grew up here in the area. He helps out with our guests, with our voice actors, the toys, all the stuff that happens inside the gym. And then we also have my sister, my twin sister, Andrea. She is the evil twin. I can confirm.
Who's a bigger nerd, you or your sister?
I think she is. I used to, maybe at one point I was the bigger nerd because I used to like play chess and like classical music and everything, and now she's probably the bigger nerd, I have to admit. And she's an amazing cosplayer, so she helps out. She's like she's our general, and she is leading us right now. We also have Paul D, another great member of the community. He is the owner and creator of the Ville.
Monterey Bay Murals.
Yeah, Monterey Bay Murals. An amazing artist, and
the official merchandise for for Nerdville.
And he's been great. He's been able to provide us with a lot of art and vision, and he's very passionate. And he wants to learn more, and I love that about him. So Paul D's been great. We also have Sarah. She works for the county of Monterey, or the hospital, I believe, and another high level person. Who else? Charlie
Carlos Campos.
Bazinga
Charlie. He is our official photographer and video. I mean, anything that you see on Nerdville, he's always taking pictures.
Aide Corona, who's doing our videos last year. She's doing great.
She's a host.
Yeah. I think she does like consulting work or something. Then we have Alfonso Ponce, who is a con expert, bro. Very con expert, very thoughtful person. He's one of the people that I've been chatting a lot with for 2025, and it's been great, man. Like we're hoping for the future. I think it's gonna be very exciting. Yeah, very exciting.
Great things. I mean, great things are coming.
Yeah, this year's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. And let's see. Is there anybody that we're missing? I don't want to There's just
who's our volunteer?
Oh yeah, we have Luis Reyes, that from a high school student that's helping us out. We have some high school youth. The PV High School band. We want to help them out this year. We want to make sure that maybe they get some donations because they want instruments to play. You know, they're nerds too. They're music nerds. So we gotta help them out.
Oh my gosh, who else?
And we've had
what's his name? Raul?
Oh yeah, Raul from Garlic
City
Funkos. Yeah. Raul's been helping us a lot. There's just a lot of people.
And if we missed anyone, like you guys are doing a great job. Everyone's doing a great job. Everyone that is participating, helping, set this up. I mean, shout out to also one of our other sponsors, right? PVUSD.
Oh yeah, you're right. The city of Watsonville, PVUSD, De La Colmena, Driscoll's Berries, Digital Nest. Yes. They've all been big supporters of ours. Imura's is gonna support us again this year. So all these businesses, all these organizations, nonprofits have been very supportive. The Health Trust has been very supportive in the past. So nothing but love from the community, and we appreciate that.
And from the beginning to now, I mean, let's go through this process, right? So first year we were at the youth center downtown.
The youth center, yeah. Oh,
there is.
Yes, let me just finish that. So because you had asked about the first year, I just want to end that. So we did all of that, and so I wanted to. I talked to the board. The board said, let's do it. I think we can do it. COVID, looks like we're coming out of COVID. So then we go to the youth center. They said okay. But the biggest part of everything was that we asked people to mask up. That was going to be the biggest thing,
But people did, which was great.
And people did. I can't tell you how happy and grateful I was.
If it wasn't for that people were... following directions, like, dude, I don't think would have been where we're at now. But like, because there was so much love, people loved it. It was something to do that was
the ultimate win for me, was that everybody was respectful, regardless of whatever they were thinking at the time. Everybody cared enough about this event to be like, we'll mask up. We're going to take care of each other. And we had the doors open. We did our best to keep people moving in one direction and everything. And it worked out great. And so we did year one. And I was very grateful to the community that they did that.
And let me give you kind of an example and scale of like how big this is growing, right? So year one, it was about 800 or so people.
Right.
So that was the first year. Because I was looking, we talked about it. We took track of people coming in and all that, And then year two was about 11.
Right.
1,200 people, so that's a big jump right there. And in year three, if I'm not mistaken, it was about 1,500.
It's like 1,400. We were getting close.
Yeah, we're close to that. But dude, the amount of people that have came and just checked it out, and I'm hoping that this year we could reach the 2,000 people.
Yeah, our goal is always to get more people.
Yeah,
we're getting better at this.
Yeah,
we still need people. We just need all walks of life. People that can have administrative skills, people that have marketing skills, people that have digital, some sort of digital other recording skills. Like we're always in need of things. This is for the community, by the community, from the community.
One of the thing, I don't know if I came up with this. I don't know if it's a thing already, but one of a quote that I kind of tell people sometimes, it's like, for the people, by the people, we the people. And
this is what Nerdville is. It's
so if this is the first time you're hearing it, I'm coining it. I think I trademarked. I said that one time or something, and I'm like,
I think I might have finished his sentence. So
and really quick, right? We're gonna go over these artists.
Just to say that in year two, real quick, the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
So year two, we brought Killer Clowns from Outer Space. For those who don't know,
we're gonna bring them back. I promise we're gonna bring them back.
There's a big
I love these guys. These guys are amazing. I hope they send this video to them. They're great. They came and people love them, and we showed the movie.
Oh yeah.
And
so for those who don't know, Killer Clowns of Outer Space was filmed here in Watsonville.
Right.
And the directors, creators, producers, the Chiodo brothers, they came in year two, and it was such a great hit.
Yeah.
And we are in the future, hopefully, bring them back out here.
We promise.
Because like.
They're Watsonville.
Yeah, it's Watsonville, and it's funny because I remember that year. It's like it was big, but it could have been bigger because Killer Clowns of Outer Space has such a cult following that people were like, "Dude, I didn't know about this. Like, if I would have known, I would have been there." So
that's why we're gonna bring them back.
Yeah. So and year three
was the year of anime. And the reason we did year of anime, I'll tell you. It's because all the anime people gave me so much, crap that I wasn't giving them any love, and they were right, because I still was in my old 90s mentality that I was like, comic books, we run this town. And nope, anime runs this town. So many anime fans, so many great properties, so many great characters. So I had to do something to honor our anime community, because Watsonville, we have a strong Mexican community, but we also have a strong Japanese community here. You know, we also have our Filipino community that are very nerdy.
There's so many communities here that you would not even think about. Like, whoa, how is that? And it's like, So there's Japanese, there's Filipino, there's a Croatian, there's Portuguese. A good Chinese population. And like these communities are staples here.
And it's funny that like we don't realize that we love the same stuff. Thanks to Japan, we had Dragon Ball Z, we had Super Campeones. Growing up in Mexico, or going to Mexico, growing up here, we still had to watch the Mexican channels, and Canal 5 had all the anime shows. That's how I got to watch the original Dragon Ball on Canal 5 in Spanish. And then when which one came out? Dragon Ball Z?
So Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z.
Z came, and that one I watched in English, but the original one I saw in Spanish. I saw the other one that I love. I don't know if people know this one, but it was a show called Samurai Pizza Cats, and I love that. Look it up, people.
Samurai
Pizza Cats.
This is the first I've heard of this, so I don't know.
They were my jam back in the day, and I watched them on Canal 5 because they were great shows. So regardless of what I say, I do have a little bit anime experience, not as much, pero. And we have and then Watsonville, we have both cultures here, so we should all be like
coming together,
highlighting all of that, and
I think this is a community event, like you said. Like there's so much, like this is bringing and will continue to bring together the community.
That's dope.
And that's the goal, and I think it will. I mean, already, like I
and
said,
very positive, accepting. Like we all just like, hey man, I love you, bro. I love you. Pickle Rick is here, like, hey, come here, give me a hug.
And I think that's something we have in common, right? Like, dude, like we may not agree on whatever X, Y, Z outside, but like if we could agree that, like, hey,
for a day
that we
put all of our differences away.
What's a nerd topic
that unites us all?
Yeah.
Well, right now, I don't know, like Super Mario Brothers is uniting us right now. X-Men is uniting us. There's some good anime shows that are coming up. MCU is still capturing our hearts. I don't know. Star Wars Day today. Star Wars Day.
So today is Star Wars Day. We're recording this on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. This is the wrong one, but yes, today is Star Wars Day. And I wanna get into the voice actors, the actors that are coming. I mean, we'll start from the bottom and get to the big one. Antonio Vina, which is the young actor that played in Star Wars Andor, right? He played the young Andor in the series. So he's coming out. We got Courtney Lynn. There's some... I'm not familiar with these characters.
I'm not familiar with the characters either. We have a core team of nerd experts telling us that these are great... guest actors coming.
And
you want to try that one?
Eric Kimmerer. Sorry if I'm butchering it. Jason Liebreich.
But then we also have Miss Elizabeth Maxwell and Greg Chun.
And I'll learn these names, say these properly, because I know I'm going to be out there day of.
No, they're great. They're great. People last year, that's how we work in Nerdville. Like we all have our assignments, right?
Yeah.
Like we all have our parts. So it's not that I'm positive that we have that the guests are amazing, because last year the guests were amazing. Everybody loved them. I know they're gonna love them. My job is just sort of like more high level stuff. It's just to make sure that the event happens.
Yeah.
So I leave the more nerdy-ish stuff like this to other people, and they help us out with all that stuff. So, like I said, the team has not steered us wrong so far. They've been nailing everything, and it's only gonna get better. Everybody, trust me, it's gonna get better, and it's gonna be more exciting. It's gonna be here for a long time, but. We just right now we're focused on getting this right, on just making sure we can have a good event year in and year out, and then maybe we'll think about expanding. Yeah, I don't know what expansion will look like. I don't want to go too far from the center of the community, the heart of the community, because transportation is still an issue here in our community, and maybe the other option is people ask me the fairgrounds, but it's hard for people to go to the fairgrounds. So
who knows? Maybe downtown Watsonville just having an outdoor Comic-Con.
Outdoor
Nerdville Con.
There's a lot that we can do with Nerdville.
The sky's the limit. There's so many.
We've also talked about like forming like book clubs or comic book clubs or reading clubs at the library, which we will. I do want to do that, and we also, with our funding, we make donations. We supported the Ivy League students last year. We've provided scholarships to the senior center. So that they can do stuff. So, the
Watsonville band, like you had mentioned.
Watsonville band. Shout out to the Watsonville band that is there, and they perform. They perform for us every year. The other thing is that we highlight the amazing elements in our community. I want Nerdville to be an economic opportunity for a lot of our great, very talented people here in our community. And just keep highlighting Watsonville. Like, there's a lot to love about Watsonville. It's a hidden gem. There's a lot. We're gonna have some good food trucks as well. We highlight our food trucks, local vendors, and we want to make Watsonville. We want to give Watsonville the recognition and the love that it deserves.
Yeah, and in Watsonville too, I want to add that there's a big art community here. Yes. So we do have what's called Artist Alley. It's like a alley of booths of all local artists, that are out here. So
and then ultimately, as our parks. Oh, the other person that we got to give a shout out to is Nick. Nick at the Parks Department. He's a director. Nick Kalibaquib, and I'm pretty sure Kalabaki. I always. I'm sorry, Nick. I love you, Nick. I have a lot of love for Nick. The community. We're so lucky to have Nick. He's very supportive. And he always says, like, he sort of like framed it perfectly. It's like, we cannot take every single young person to San Diego Comic-Con. Like, it's impossible, right? But maybe we can bring the Comic-Con experience to Watsonville, right? And so I think we have through so many amazing people. One other person too, Paul Chavez at Chaz Designs, another person I have to. I can just keep naming.
Everyone.
People in this community that have decided to give back to this community, that want to this event through to the community through this event, and that want to continue participating and giving to the community. And so I think we have something good here, Eddie. I think we started something great, and my hope is that the generations that do take it over afterwards just make it better. Make it better. Like we got it off the ground, but you guys made it. Like you brought Robert Downey Jr. or his clone. If cloning ever becomes a thing, we'll try to get his clone or something. His cyborg or something.
And what I want to point out really quick too, which is great because you talk about bringing Comic-Con here. It's free for PVUSD students. So if you have a student, if you have a child, a nephew, a sibling that is attending the Pajaro Valley Unified School District, they get in for free. All you have to do is just bring your student ID. They get one every year, and they get in for free.
And the reason, obviously, we do that is because we were PVUSD students, right? Chocolate, bro.
Bam. All right. I wasn't sure what you were doing out there. It's like I hear far.
And then the other reason. So part of the plans could be to make it a 2-day event. Yeah. But Nerdville will always be on Sunday, and the reason that it's on Sunday, it is because if there's a day that farm workers have off, it might be Sunday. So our hope is always that. If there are farm worker nerds that want to go to Nerdville, have to work on Saturday, they probably can't make it, but hopefully they'll have Sunday off, and then they can come to Nerdville on Sunday.
So Nerdville is Sunday, June 23rd.
Yes.
All right, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes.
You know, it is located at Watsonville High School,
Mm-hmm.
and the location is 25 East Beach Street here in Watsonville. And also, you know, follow us, you know, at Nerdville831 on Instagram, and our website is nerdville831.org.
Shout out to Sam. The website is brand new this year. It's something that we've needed for a long time, and it's really gonna be a game changer for us. So we have a website, people. Go to it.
Yes, go check it out. I mean, there's so much there, and we're also seeking volunteers.
Yeah, we're always seeking people, volunteers, ideas. Like for year 4, at this point, I think we just sort of need volunteers, people that may just want to come in and help out. And if they do that, people can stay for free. They can stay for the whole day. I don't want to give. There's some benefits to volunteering.
Yeah, there's
I don't want to say.
Yeah. So like if you're like,
but there's some benefits to volunteering.
Yeah. So because if not, entrance price is what, $20?
Yeah. So it's $20, and the way I like to say it is that we tax the adults so the youth don't have to pay. You know, so thank you for people. You know, if $20 is a lot for the adults, thank you for paying it. Just know that you're helping sustain the event, and you're pretty much offsetting the costs for young people that come into this. And the point is for young people to enjoy themselves at this event. And the other thing that I'm also looking to do in the upcoming years is to have more young people be part of our committees, to inform us and to help us build this, because that's one way to keep this thing sustainable. Right. We start creating our own future leaders that will take this over and will know how to do this. And then we get input from our young people here are so smart, are so talented, and they just need opportunities and outlets, you know. And I think that's the Watsonville person here. Watsonville has so much potential. You know, we have so many things to sort of have to overcome, but when people in Watsonville sort of do that, like it's amazing, man. It's amazing to see people just be fully to realize their full potential.
And we are looking for ambassadors. Through from the local high schools. You know, so if you're a high school student, you're watching this,
you want to help us build the club at the library, like hit us up.
The local high schools, right? We got Watsonville High School, PV High School,
Renaissance,
Monta Vesta, Renaissance, St. Francis, Aptos is another local. Like if you are a young person and you love this stuff, you're a nerd, you know, and you want to build that bridge between the Nerdville planning commission and the Nerdville and community and your high school, you know, hit us up. You know?
Yeah, we're about community. We're about bringing people together and bringing people together in a way that's just, you know, like that's great. That's just great. You know, it's just like positive. That's full of hope and love and joy, and that's what Watsonville is too, man. Like we're hardworking people, but we love life, bro. You know, we love to have a good time here in Watson.
Yes,
you know?
we do.
And our kids, our youth, they deserve all this too, man. Like they're worthy of all this. They just sometimes don't know it. They don't know it yet. You know.
Yeah. And that's why I say, like, and I'm gonna continue to echo this. This is why I have this podcast, right? Is to highlight and shine, you know, on all these events, all these things that are happening. You know, the community. You know, Nerdville equals community. El local equals community. You know, and that's what we're passionate about. You know,
for sure.
So yeah, man. I mean, this is great. Again, June 23rd. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Watsonville High School. It's on 250 East Beach Street. And don't forget to give them a follow on Instagram at Nerdville831 and on the website nerdville831.org. And I will be posting this at the end of the video, you know, the flyer, so people can check it out and everything. And so, man, this is awesome, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on. And this today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. This will be coming out soon. And I think
this is also episode 4.
This is episode, no, it's actually episode
5?
6.
6?
It's 5 or 6. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, because you've recorded others.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I've recorded others already. So I think
it's all good, bro. I just thought, it was meant to be, but
I think it's 5. You're 5.
it's all good. No, but thank you for having me on, being one of the first guests here. Hopefully you keep this going. And, it's all about just keep doing.
Yeah.
Keep doing. I think a lot of times one of the things here and that people don't realize is how do you translate potential into like something real, right?
Yeah.
And but the only way to do that is by doing and keep doing it and over and over. Y vas a ver que you'll find success. So hopefully,
less talk, more walk.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully this is just the first of many, 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 many episodes for you, Eddie. And we'll come back and I'll talk to you about all the scandals that I had in office. And no, I'm happy to talk to you about that stuff too and anything else.
Yeah.
And just keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Keep a lookout for more episodes. Give me a like and a follow at Locali31 on Instagram and as well on YouTube. And so, thanks, guys. God bless.
I am your father.
He is your father. All right, guys. Have a good one.